Alrighty. So, as you can see, I got a nice western Cherno spawn today. And the goal of today's walkthrough video is to show you guys how I handle getting a Cherno spawn. It's going to be the start, I think, of a new guide walkthrough series, whatever you want to call it. Showing you what I do with each spawn that I'm given. So, I thought it was a good way to start with Chernogorsk, the classic, one of the most infamous cities in DayZ. Friendlies in Cherno, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to walk you through what I do when I spawn in Cherno. So a western Cherno spawn is nice because if you really wanted to, if Cherno is too crazy, you could honestly just loot the outer bits here on the western side and go straight to Balota for military gear and that kind of stuff. But for today, for the sake of, you know, showcasing Cherno for all that it has, I'm going to go straight into town and show you my usual looting process. Now, the good thing about a western spawn is at the lighthouse, there's all these fishing boats, and as you can see, I already found a hook, and sometimes you can get lucky and find a fishing rod, or even just some spare cans of soda, a backpack, all that kind of stuff. So not a bad place to look before you head straight into the city. Some clothes. I think I'm okay with my freshy gear for now. But yeah, we already got ourselves loaded up with a metal pipe and a fishing hook. Not bad. As you can see, dry bags spawn here. A flare gun. Don't really need that. Let's keep moving. Ooh. As you can, that zombie already had elbows up, so that means somebody probably also spawned here pretty recently. And was already aggroed. Oh, there's somebody right there. Hi. I'm friendly, man. You don't have to do that. Okay. All's good. You have a nice day. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Have a good new spawn. God damn it. People that don't talk like that are just always looking for trouble, so I'll take the bandage and the fruit and I will be on my way. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't start by eating that fruit, and that's because I'm assuming I'm going to pick up a bunch of, maybe some fruit from fresh spawns or from trees. But I'm also assuming I'm going to run into some chickens that I could cook as well. So I'm just going to, rather than eat the fruit straight away, end up probably cooking it instead for more calories, especially with the new boost to fruit and mushrooms. It's pretty worth baking fruit now. But if I get desperate and I need food right away, I will definitely not hesitate to, you know, eat it. For fuck's sake. But yeah, we start with the fishing boats. We head in. There's a couple cabins and houses here that are always good to check out. They're usually already looted, but you never know if you can find, you know, some scraps that you think are good. Like the skate helmet's pretty nice. The jacket, we will definitely take. But yeah, other than that, it looks like a bunch of crap. This is on a high pop US server, so it's probably going to be pretty scarce with loot, honestly. We'll have to see. I usually like to loot all these first houses just in case somebody else skipped them maybe, and there's plenty for me to find. It's not looking like that's the case, so we might just actually start skipping some houses if we're not finding anything. Take the beanie for insulation. I've gone over this quite a bit, but when you're first starting out, one of the things you want to do more of is you want to not run so much. I know I've kind of been running all over the place. But you really shouldn't do that. That wastes a lot of calories. Oh, there's a dead body. Oh, nice. A little bit of food. So yeah, it's always nice to check these areas out for that reason. I'm okay on the backpack. I'll take the rags and... yeah, that's it. That means somebody's here. The body has flies on it, so somebody killed that person, but not... you know, it's been a little bit. Some time has passed. But there probably is player activity around the city, so we gotta be careful. But yeah, you want to do a lot more jogging when possible. I'm kind of on edge because I know that it's active here, so you may catch me around it a bit. But jogging, until you find some food, is really key to staying in the yellow before you hit red. I like to at least get back up to white food before I start like sprinting around like a madman. But you know, especially because of the new melee mechanics, killing zombies is not quite so easy anymore, especially if you get multiple on them. So jogging or even just crouch walking around is going to be a lot more beneficial. So you're not taking as many hits. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, 1.16 made it so you had to be much closer to zombies. Look at that, shotgun in a jar, honey. Huge. But you have to be much closer to zombies now to melee them. But I have a pipe, so I have a little bit more range than usual. But yeah, so you want to... it's probably better to just avoid zombies in general. Take less damage, so on and so forth. But yeah, we're going to eat that jar of honey right up. That should get us to white, and we should be okay to run around. We're getting close to a well. So once I get done looting like this first section of houses, I start on the west, I loot those cabins on the outer bit, and I come down this first main looking road, and we get to the main part of town. You can obviously loot all these buildings, but sometimes that's a little time consuming. One of the first things I look to do is go towards this Ferris wheel here. I'll show you why in a minute. But I usually cut up onto this block. Shit. Usually cut up onto this block. I like to loot these little, like, green, light green, and orange bricked buildings. They're like little apartments, little flats, whatever you call them, where you're from. Yeah, see. Zombies are a pain in the butt. Cherno is chrome with them. Always loot them though when you kill them. Yeah, these little side bits, they usually spawn food. Sometimes there's an upstairs bit as well. Food, guns, you know, all that good stuff. We'll take the blue saloon. These spots too, these little corner sections, I'll open it up. There's a zombie inside, but they're good for finding little bits of ammo. I find IJs in them. Sometimes some food. Look at that, speaking of IJs. Nice, a layer and a pistol. Not so bad. And these little market shops, these are really good for food and early game gear. Look at that, little pair of hiking boots too. Yeah, you want to look in these areas. The shops, the open garage doors, the corner, the dark brown, like the brown corners, corner block buildings, I don't know what you want to call them, and these little side apartments. Those are all good for early game loot, and they're everywhere in Cherno. See, we're finding tons of food. And keep in mind, this is high pop Cherno. High pop official Cherno. So this is like, we saw dead bodies, we saw an active player. You know, this is a very active area, and still finding decent stuff if you're looking in the right places. But yeah, the reason I like to come towards this Ferris wheel first, once I get to that main bit and loot all that, is because this thing has hunting spawns. I won't take water purification tablets at the moment, but it can spawn hunting gear. It can spawn 308 Mosin rounds, 7.62 by 39. Anything that you can find in a hunting shop. Ooh, an alarm clock. We'll take that for the memes. But anything you can find in a hunting spawn, hunting shop, cabin, all that you can find in this little, it's like a little carnival game. Same with the little booth at the Ferris wheel. Sometimes you can get lucky and find, you know, a box of rounds or a quarter stack of Mosin ammo, something like that. That's really nice. It's really good, good start to your run. But then I like to follow this back road, this back main road along the coast, and loot up all these little mini shot putts because they're really good for finding food and early game supplies. We'll take another lighter, whatever. Actually, we'll take whatever one's fuller, which was already that one. We'll just eat our food as we go. Something I like to practice and do. The less you gotta carry around, the more you can pick up. Food is easily disposable. You can just eat it. You don't have to worry about carrying it in your inventory. Because no matter what the spawn is for me, you guys know I like to prioritize what loot I'm carrying and get out of the spawn town as soon as I can. Having some frame drops, which is a bit strange. But then you follow. Once you get to this crashed end of a plane, if you look to your left here, there's a well. So if you get the West Cherno spawn and you need to get to a well, which you probably will if you're playing on official, that's how you get there. This is one of, I think, three wells in the Cherno area. There's one if you get an east side spawn in Prig, which maybe we'll showcase at some point. And then there's one in the upper bit of Cherno as well, which I will probably show on my way out. But yeah, the great thing about a Cherno spawn in general is there's lots of ways you can go. You can go east towards Electra, but that's it's not so productive. You don't want to go there. That's just as crazy and probably infested with other freshies as Cherno. But you can go north towards Mogalevka, where there's a hunting camp. Mogalevka is near a castle where you can get some good sniper rifles, and then you can also take Mogalevka right up on to Novi Summer Camp and go to Novi Stare from there. And it's a pretty good path, reliable for loot. You can also go west, like I said, when I spawned in. If you don't like going into the town, you go straight west to Bolota and take the western coastline up to through Bolota, all the way up to the western evac, and then go up to Chernogorsk, and that's a really good loot route as well. So that's the great thing about a Cherno spawn. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of places you can go. And it's usually really rich with supplies because it's such a big city that everyone doesn't really loot everything that they should. Alright, but after I'm done at the well, I wait till I'm full up, my stomach's about to burst. I come this way, we're going to have to fight some zombies. You've probably seen me do it already, but when they notice me, when my cover's blown, they notice me, I like to run up and initiate the melee battle. Just so that, like you saw, it gives me time to kill one before the other one next to it gets aggroed. So that short little bit could be the difference between you fighting one zombie one-on-one versus 2 or 3 or many more at the same time. Little zombie melee tips. So you can run, sprint at them, holding shift and then left clicking, like spamming left click. You'll do like I'll showcase it here. I'll sprint. So he's noticed me. I'll sprint, spam left click, and then you power hit. Boom, 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 boom. Dead. Before you can even really fully aggro and attack me. But once you've cleared these zombies, you loot it up here. You can keep going around on the coast here, and there's more shops, but I've got enough food to last me. I'm already white water, white food. I usually come around up through towards the town center. There's a big clock tower up here. You can climb up to the top of the building, but I don't think much useful stuff spawns in there. I just like to cut through. There's some more market shops and stuff here that I like to loot on my way to the police station, the main police station. And obviously, as with any town, another alarm clock. As with any town, oh shit, dead zombies that we didn't kill. Sign of player activity. There might be somebody at the PD. But as with any town, A police station is a big point of interest because it's a great source for early game weapons. I'm imagining this guy's already looted this stuff here. Oh, a near full lighter. We'll take that. Oh. I hear slicing behind me. That's actually a good sign. That means maybe we can beat him to the PD if we're lucky. So I'm going to sneak around, make sure he doesn't hear me. Wait till I feel like I'm out of range, and then we'll start sprinting a little bit. So you got to go all the way down past the clock tower. My frames are dropping like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Ah, shit. Oh, there's a base here. Wow. Okay, that's kind of lame. Yeah, that means I'm gonna avoid the shit out of this. Another alarm clock. Yeah, that's why my frames are dropping. Lots of dead zombies. There's probably multiple players in the area. So I kind of want to avoid the PD if it's built up with a base. But normally I would loot the PD, and I actually come down out the main entrance and out to this main road here, where there's a broken bus, and you can see a little hunting map stop over here. So what I do from here is my next point of interest is there's actually a nice little general store that not a lot of people usually go to because the PD is the big concern, and then the hospital is also right around this area. But I like to come under the big tunnel bridge after I swap my shoes for these sexy black ones. Hell yeah. But we'd like to come under the bridge, away from the frame droppy base. And if you take a nice cheeky left right here down this road, there is a wonderful, a couple shops, an open garage. You know, we'll check these out. Ooh, nice. Some iodine. Always want to pick up disinfectant now to make your own rags if you don't find any bandages early game. Disinfect those rags. A nice soda. Yeah, you want to disinfect any rags if you don't have bandages that are disinfected. So that and it can cure stage 1 wound infection. So that's always a good thing too. Nice little Gunther spawn there. Yeah, then if you come up the road and on your right will be a nice general store which spawns hunting supplies and weapons. And I guess flags. There's 2 fucking flags. But yeah, you can find... That's always worth a look. It can also kind of... For some reason, I don't know if this has been fixed yet, but... It's like... It seems to be within radius of the hospital or something, because I used to always find medical supplies in there as well. That might have been fixed. But yeah, after you make your way through there, you loot, you come out that side entrance, and you come down this little alleyway, back onto the main road, and you will see some apartments to the right. I hear a dead body on my right. We're going to check that out. Always feels like it's worth investigating in case there's a plum and a bandage. If you hear a dead body, always approach it with caution, but it's always worth checking out. You never know what scraps might be left behind, or if it was a fresh one that just wanted to respawn. You get a free piece of fruit and a free bandage. I've already got a full bandage and a half if these 3 were combined. And that's really useful. I believe a full bandage is 4 uses, so we got 6 uses just from what we spawn with and what we found off of other players. Very, very helpful. Alright, so we do see some active, alive zombies. That's good. But when you see those apartments, you want to just follow the road towards them, and it'll take you right to the hospital. Obviously, a hospital, you come here looking for medical supplies. If you don't already have enough bandages, take some bandages. Or swap out your used ones for full ones. But you also want to look for medicine like tetracycline and vitamins and codeine. I like to have at least some kind of painkiller, codeine or morphine, at least one EpiPen to give me extra stamina, or unlimited stamina in a desperate situation to get out of, to reposition or something along those lines. And vitamins are always good to boost your immune system early on in case you're low on food and water and you're prone to sickness. You didn't follow my tips and get high insulation clothes when you could. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, we're just kind of taking and grabbing. What's also nice is a lot of people don't take the medical gloves, and the medical gloves are nice, but they're also very bright. You know, having a glove on is really important because when you're cutting up chickens and other animals that you might hunt or fish for, your hands get bloody. If you eat with bloody hands, you're gonna get sick. The nice thing is, the gloves are, well, the con, right? Super bright. If you have them on, it's gonna be super noticeable if you're like hiding in a bush or something. But the nice thing is, they're only a 1x1 in your inventory, so you can just stick them into your inventory and use them when you need them. It's really cool, really easy, and they're a nice, not very slot consuming form of gloves to protect your hands when you cut shit up. I'm also looking for a start kits are always nice to have, and you can combine them with either a blood collection kit or a saline bag. A blood collection kit is pretty self-explanatory. It collects your blood. And you can use that for later on if you get in a situation where you lose a lot of blood and you want to regen it really quick. You can use a blood collection kit right there. On yourself, I'll demonstrate here. Use it on yourself. You see I got a prompt in the bottom left that says collect my blood if I hold left trigger, or left mouse button, sorry. And I'm taking all this blood. I'm taking a whole blood bag. Boop, 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 boop. And you'll see my blood start dropping now. But now I have a bag of my own blood. Pretty nice. You can use that, like I said, if... play around. You can use that if you get low on blood and you don't want to start passing out due to lack of blood. Or if you get blood poisoning from being in a radiation zone unprotected. Having a clean thing of your own blood will actually save your life in that situation. So it's nice to have, but you do have to combine this with a start kit to be able to use it. A saline bag is just a quick fix. It's like a quick boost to your blood regen. It'll also hydrate you. So if you're really desperate for water and hydration, I recommend using it. So, somebody with a gun. Multiple, it sounds like. Okay, well, I'll retake that again. Didn't expect 2 plate carrier assault helmet guys to be in Cherno. Fuck me, dude. Alright, so here we are. There's the hospital. After I loot the hospital, I'd usually come... Actually, fuck that. That's terrible, too. Alright, so we're pack. I'm not going to run to my body because fuck that. I'm just going to die. And for the sake of the video, I'd just like to show you where I'd go from here. So there's the hospital. Once you're done looting, I usually come straight up this way, and there's the fire station, right? I'm not going to loot that now because there's really no need for it, but if you want a fire axe or you want some NBC gear, the fire station here is on your left. But for now, I'm going to move up. I'm going to actually loot this marketplace because I need a little bit of food since I died. We're gonna hope maybe something to melee with, and I think I just saw a player in a red t-shirt. Yeah, I did. Hello. 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 Alright, I guess I'm not. I'm gonna avoid it. So you can loot this marketplace. It's good for maybe some clothing and some food. Alright, that guy's playing with speakers or something. But then if you just follow past the store, there's a couple houses that you can loot as well. That's never a bad shout. But once you loot, you can come up this road, loot as you go, and there's a PD at the end here, and that's where we're going to be looking to head. First, like I said, I need to find food before I start starving to death. We'll take a mustard jacket for the insulation right now. Help us preserve some precious cows. There's this buckshot that we could have used a minute ago. Hey. How you doing?
Are you the guy I met?
I don't think so, man.
I got a question. Do you have any food on you?
I don't, man. I mean, you have a jar of jam in your hands anyway, so. I don't think that guy has good intentions. I don't know what his deal is.
I got you. Bruh, well, how the hell are you blocking?
What's that?
But did you get shot by a Glock earlier?
Nope.
Nope. What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Behind you.
That's sketch. But yeah, usually I lead the PD, but in this case, we might have to just fuck off. I don't want to be around speakers, man. Hot mic'd speakers, man. As well as, Lead Pipe Joe. There's lots of houses up along the PD. Lots of, plenty of food. Hopefully. Food potential, gun potential. You can loot the PD, maybe find an SMG or a pump shotgun, something along those lines. But yeah, I usually like to move on up past. Once I loot the PD and I loot these houses if needed, I come up this road and you'll see a bunch of apartments, and there's tons of townhouses surrounding the apartments. Plenty of places to loot. That's actually huge. If we wanted, we could go kill those guys. Maybe. Well, let's keep on with the video. But yeah, you loot these houses here. Once you come up the crest of this hill, you'll see some apartments. The apartments themselves aren't worth looting, but the houses around them are. So usually, I'll start at this like mustache, and I'll work my way all the way up down to the left side road. So I'll come through. There's a player or something around. I just heard him running. Maybe a runner zombie. Actually, no, because of the aggro. Oh, look, there's all these houses you can loot. All through this road, just a mini town. Nice little village around the apartments. It's a nice little area. I usually wrap up around this road. Loot all these houses. Now, I like the stilted houses, the ones that are kind of up on a platform like that. The stilted like tan, stilted red. They usually, for some reason, I feel like I find a lot of guns in those, rifles and such. In fact, we'll go look in here. If there's a gun in here, you're gonna call scripted. Oh, this is supposed to be vanilla. I don't think it's vanilla. Look, no guns, not scripted. But I tend to find a lot of guns in those, so those are always worth a look. Same with the log cabins and stuff. I so don't always loot the cars too. These broken cars, not so much these Jeeps, but like the broken Adas, the broken versions of the cars you can actually drive. Usually can spawn some stuff. I find a lot of food and sometimes some car parts on them. Believe it or not, so lots of stuff. Oh, look at that, a shotgun with rounds, baby. Pretty nice. We'll load this bad boy up. I got a shotty. Can protect ourselves. But usually I run around, I loot all these houses up the road, and then when you come to this log cabin on the end, if you run down the hill here, on the right, there's a well. A nice, delicious well. And you can loot all of these houses surrounding it as well. If you'd like, you can double back and loot all that stuff. But usually I loot as many of these houses as I see fit until I'm, you know, good. If I have a melee, at least I look to have a melee, something to patch up my wounds with, a little bit of food, and then I fill up on water. And once I fill up on water, I take this road down. You can see a barn in the distance over there. That's your next point of interest. You can go to the barn and, you know, you can find shotguns and rifles and stuff in there. Usually some decent clothes too. But then the most important thing is, well, one, there's actually also a green little mini patrol shack as well. That's always nice to go look for police tier loot. And then from there, you can actually go straight to Mogilevka. And that's where the Cherno loot run kind of ends for me, typically. You know, between the spawn in, I maybe get lucky with some fishing gear, and then you go straight into the town. You loot all those little mini huts, the marketplaces, and the side apartments, and like the ground level apartments, whatever you want to call them. You go to the PD, or first you get a drink at the well, then you go to the PD. You hit up the hospital, the hunting general store. Then you head up to this area, you get another drink at the well, you top it off, you're probably full after 2 full trips to the well. You might have a gun, you probably have a bunch of food if you're looting all these houses and doing everything I did in the beginning. And then you come down here, there's a market, you want to hook a right at the market and head towards here, at that juicy farm area. You can also, if you still feel like you're a little low and you need maybe a knife, some better clothing, maybe some more food, there's a bus stop over there which I can show to you. It's usually pretty good and people don't ever loot the bus stop. I know Beam would be angry with me if I didn't mention the bus stop. 'Cause she loves the bus stop. Also, on our way at this little T-junction at the bridge, there can also be a police car spawn, which is really nice for some higher level tiered police items. But yeah, you cut up here, and this is the bus station around these apartments and a marketplace. Usually pretty filled with loot, honestly. Whether it's junk or not is, you know, based on your luck, but I've plenty of times found food that saved my life, or some decent clothing, a belt, what have you. Yeah, see, there's a can of Pepsi, some chips, there's a bunch of clothing. A can opener can be huge if you don't have a knife like me. And then there's 2 markets, actually. 2 markets. And then after you loot here, you can go straight up to the barn here. And then if you follow this road, this road right here, it'll take you straight to Mogilevka, basically. You can see here you're leaving the town. And this road will wrap around the hill and go into the forest. There'll be a hunting camp on the way, and there'll be Mogilevka, and from there you can explore inland. But yeah, hopefully, and then there's the barn. But yeah, hopefully you found this to be helpful in some degree. I didn't do a lot of looting just for the sake of showing you and walking you through the actual points of interest and what I tend to loot before I head out of West Cherno spawn, if I could speak correctly. But a West Cherno spawn is pretty good. And you could either go here or you could double back and go to Belota. But a lot of the times I like to go up to Mogilevka and get started that way. If you want me to continue the series, make sure to drop a like and comment down below what other spawns you'd like me to cover. Or if you want me to go even more in depth and maybe break down some more areas and some loot spawns and stuff like that. But I just figured you guys would appreciate some more walkthrough content. Me actually going to these places in an official server, kind of showing you what can spawn there, or at least telling you and trying to avoid death by other player. Didn't have as much luck as in other walkthroughs with the amount of player activity. But yeah, that's DayZ sometimes, right? Shit happens. But yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to like and comment what other spawns you'd like me to cover. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.